Hey, what's up, peeps? It's your boy PC Williams coming to y'all live on behalf of 1K Sports, where we keep it uncut, unfiltered, unapologetic, unbiased. So, as you all know, football is back, man. Football is upon us. The best time of the year. Have some great games over the weekend. I'll get into some of these games that happened, man. So, as you all know, this best time of the year. Me personally, I love college football over the pros because I feel like every week it's something on the line. You can't afford to lose more than one game. You might not get into the playoffs. So, me personally, I love the college time of the year, the passion, the fans, so many different fan bases, so passionate about what they're doing this year. So, me personally, I love college. As you all know, NFL starts on Thursday. The Eagles take on the Falcons, and then Sunday and then from that point forward, man, just football every weekend, man. So it's the best time of the year. So, anyways, let's talk sports. So, over the weekend there were some great games. I'm not really gonna really get into some of the cupcake games. A lot of times in week one, a lot of big schools play teams that they're gonna beat one double A teams or FCS teams, something like that. So I want to touch into some of the top games, some of the ranked games, games that were close, closely whatever. So, but anyways, so we had Auburn against Washington, and I had Washington in my preseason, in my college football playoff to start the season off. So, and I picked them for one reason. I feel like taking on Auburn in Atlanta, that's the first game of the year. I feel like that's a tall task. That's a daunting task. You're basically playing a SEC team in SEC country. So for them to go out there and say, what, for the first game of the year, we want Auburn in a neutral environment that's favorable to them. So Washington came out, they hit them in the mouth early, but offense couldn't really get it going. But defense really showed me something. Washington got a pretty good defense. You know, to me, in my opinion, they didn't lose any style points by losing to Auburn. You lost a close game to a hell of an opponent. Auburn, they're solid as usual. That's Bama's biggest rivalry. So, they're stacked as always. I think they have the best D line in the country next to Clemson. So, for the most part, Washington came into the game, and really tried their best. They really tried their best to go out there and, fight for it. And I feel like maybe, a couple of turnovers don't go that way, they probably pull the win out. Me personally, I think Washington could have won the game by, maybe like 10 points. But, it's, turnovers and penalties kind of killed them, man. But it was a close game. Washington really showed me something, man. They didn't go out there and lay down for them. So me personally, I feel like if they can go ahead and win out and win their conference, they may get into the playoffs. So I still feel safe with that pick, picking Washington. So we excuse me. We almost had a scare. Penn State got down to overtime, with Appalachian State, and ironically, it's the 11-year anniversary when Appy State went in there and beat Michigan in the Big House. So it almost went down in Happy Valley, man. So, but Penn State did pull through. If I'm a Penn State fan, I would say don't panic, but don't relax. You didn't lose, but there is a reason why that game went the way it went. Now, it's not all bad. Michigan did lose to Appy State 11 years ago. That Michigan team actually ended up beating Tim Tebow, who won the Heisman that year in the I think the Citrus Bowl. So it's not the end of the world if you have a bad game against a bad opponent the first game of the year. You fresh out of training camp, a little rusty. Just getting back into the swing of things. So Penn State did pull it out. They did escape the huge upset, but they have to ask themselves, was this a wake up call or a warning? Were you guys really that bad, or were they that good, or what's really going on? So we go find out. As you know, Saquon Barkley is not there. He's going for the, going to the NFL. So, but I think Trace McSorley is a legit Heisman contender. I don't think he's the front runner right now, but he's a solid dude, and he won that game for them. He's gonna have to win some big games for them. There's gonna be some games where they may lose and he may win it for them. So I definitely got a lot of faith in Trace McSorley as a Heisman contender. I think he's gonna be, gonna be cool. Now the Texas Longhorns, I feel like they're frauds. I mean, I feel like football karma is real. You bring in Charlie Strong. Okay, maybe he'll turn things around. The man was gone in what 3 years. Then you bring in Tom Herman and think, okay, things are gonna change. No, there is a bad culture down there in Austin right now. So whether it's Charlie Strong, whether it's Tom Herman, something else needs to be fixed. New athletic director. I don't know, just new something, but something's not going on. Something's not going right in Austin right now. So I think right now they're frauds. I don't know why they was ranked 23. I mean, they shouldn't be ranked at all. They lost to a Maryland team that's in complete, disarray right now. Just had a death of a player. They're, all over the place mentally and emotionally. So, you know, I just feel like my faith in Texas is not strong right now. I think Tom Herman, is a little bit overrated. A little bit in over his head right now. I understand it's a dream job, but you still happen to Charlie Strong. You're gonna be the fall guy eventually. So I'm not really sold on Texas, man. They're frauds to me. West Virginia did play Tennessee. Tennessee not real strong this year, but solid. Jeremy Pruitt, Bama's old, the defense coordinator is over there, head coaching now. So I think Will Greer is a Heisman front runner. I think he's the guy he's in my driver's seat right now concerning the Heisman. I think he's going to win it right now if everything goes smoothly because he's in the offense where he can spread the ball around and put up big numbers and everything. So I think West Virginia as a team right now, they're my favorite to win the Big 12. So I have them winning the Big 12. I got Will Greer winning the Heisman right now. So I expect big things this year. With West Virginia, I think they're going to win the Big 12. And Will Greer is a Heisman front runner, so expecting big things from them. Then we had Michigan and Notre Dame. I'm not gonna really overreact to the loss. I understand. Jim Harbaugh's on the hot seat. People starting to call for his job. He's not winning, and losing to Ohio State hasn't beat Ohio State yet. Beat Michigan State one time, so everyone's kind of saying, okay, this is the year. And I picked Michigan to get to the college football playoff as my, Big Ten champion, going there. So, me personally, I'm not going to panic, because you lost to Notre Dame at home and they're ranked too. So it's no shame in that. You lost to a pretty good team in their house at night. And anyone who knows college football, you play ball against Notre Dame in Notre Dame. It's a hostile environment. I don't care about the whole Catholic school. No, it's a very hostile environment. Hard to win games there, man. So I'm not gonna panic and say Jim Harbaugh is on the hot seat even more. He's on the hot seat, but this game doesn't change anything. He can still, if he beats Ohio State and he beat Michigan State, then he's still in good favor to go to the playoff. But he got to tighten up. So I'm still good on Washington. Not really. I'm still good with Michigan, but I have my concerns, obviously. And well, the Canes. Well, Miami took the field, and they attempted to play a football game against the LSU Tigers. And I picked Miami to win the ACC and go to the playoff. I'm still sold on Washington and Michigan. I'm not sold on Miami. I think Miami are it was embarrassment. Their uniforms were made out of toxic waste, aka trash, and that's how they play. How fitting, right? So I think Miami just went out there and just showed who they really are. I think last year they even had me fooled. I really thought last year they was real serious, and I thought this year in the ACC with Clemson kind of losing talent and Florida State kind of rebuilding, reloading type thing. I feel like this is a good year for Miami to go ahead and take the ACC while it's there for the taking. So they came out last night and just completely embarrassed themselves. The game was over. LSU looks damn good. If I had to pick a team right now that I feel would be a threat to Alabama right now, it'd be LSU. I think Auburn's nice, but Auburn's coming to T-Town this year. Alabama is going to Baton Rouge. We'll get into that later, but as of right now, who I think is the favorite to win to dethrone Bama or the biggest threat to them right now is LSU. No questions asked. It's LSU, man. So, but Miami, I feel like they could have showed better. If they lost the game, I wouldn't be upset because you're gonna lose games. You're not gonna win them all. You're gonna have a slip up here and there. But I feel like I expected more from Miami, to at least come out and fight. At least come out there and make it a game. If you lose, so what? Whatever. But to come out there and just get pushed around the way they did and just get thrown around like they did by LSU, man, it's like, if LSU was that good, then, look out. But I don't think Miami was that bad, and I expected more out of them because I feel like when the Canes are good, when Miami and Florida State and Florida are all good, it's great for the sport because you have that passionate fan base in Florida that's, combating with every other fan base. You have, more passion for the game. So I expected so much more out of Miami this year. I'm completely out on them as ACC champions, man. That was a bad pick on my part, but I just thought they was going to come through with it, man. But they didn't. So we'll see how it turns out, But as of right now, they look horrible, man. I don't know. It's like they gave up, and that's horrible. The first game of the year, just gave up, man. So I'm definitely not sold on Miami right now. Things could change, but right now, I don't see my pick of them, getting to the championship, or to the playoff game as legit right now. So I'm out on the Canes. Well, there was another game. Alabama played Louisville. Alabama beat down Louisville, obviously. And I'm an Alabama fan, but I'm just speaking as a neutral guy, disregard the shirt. But I feel like right now, Alabama, they're the defending national champion, and they should be the favorite to repeat. The offense with Tua Tagovailoa is explosive. It's just downright scary. Playmakers everywhere. You got, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs at receiver. Running backs, Damian Harris, Najee Harris, Josh Jacobs, Matt Robinson. Just loaded. They're four deep everywhere. And you got this new kid, Jalen Waddle out of Houston. The guy's explosive, man. Just playmakers everywhere. The defense is young and it's inexperienced, but they're very talented and very hungry. And Deontay Thompson is going to be All-American. Mac Wilson, Raekwon Davis, Isaiah Buggs, man, Quentin Williams, just loaded everywhere, man. So Roll Tide again, but there is an elephant in the room. No pun intended right now, but the elephant in the room is that Nick Saban seems, like he's still bothered with the whole quarterback situation. And my personal advice, because it just seems to me that Nick Saban has a personal feelings toward Jalen Hurts. And I understand that, 26-2 SEC Player of the Year as a freshman. He got you 2 back-to-back national championships games. Won some big games for you. He is proven. But what Jalen is really bad at, what his flaws are, they show up in the biggest games because the really great teams have figured him out. Now, he's a dangerous threat. He can run. He can throw. He can't throw great, but he can scramble and make things happen and buy himself some time. But what Jalen does bad, what he's not very good at, the really great teams know it. They don't respect him passing the ball. They much rather just sit there and crowd the edges and say, okay, Jalen, we're not going to rush your field and give you a lane to run through. We're not going to just, blitz you all at once and give you a free pass. We're going to sit here in coverage. We're going to rush by 4 or 5. We're going to sit in our lanes, and we're going to make you beat us from the pocket. And he just can't do it. And I think Nick Saban in his heart doesn't want to just take the position from Jalen and give it to Tua. But the fact of the matter is, Tua Tagovailoa is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. This is easily Nick Saban's best offensive arsenal from a depth standpoint. He's had some great talent, obviously, with Mark Ingram and Julio Jones, Mari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, guys like that. But this is the first time he's really had four legit number one guys, four legit starting running backs. Like, this offense is loaded. And you have a young, inexperienced defense that you never know when that learning or that, that welcome to the big time is going to happen for them. So you need an offense that's going to score. You're not going to beat Auburn by just running Jalen. You're not going to beat LSU or Mississippi State or any other great team that you're going to face down the road with Jalen Hurts being the quarterback. And if we do beat them, if they do beat the great teams, it's going to be because the defense had to score. And Jalen, yes, he did score the go-ahead touchdown against Clemson a couple years ago. But he also was like 0 on third down. And his defense, that all-time great defense, played 100 snaps that night. By the time Jalen finally scored the go-ahead touchdown, that defense was done. So Jalen is not the kind of quarterback, that you can win these really big games with. You need a quarterback that can make a play with his arm. And the thing about Tua is this. What Jalen gives you in the running game, Tua gives you something similar. He's not the great runner that Jalen is, but he's so much better of a passer than Jalen is. And Jalen is not that much of a better runner than Tua is. He can give you, he ran one in too. He had a couple running plays, a couple read options. So the guy can do it all. And I think Nick Saban has to get out of his personal feelings. He went off from Maria Taylor, which was uncalled for and classless. I think, Nick Saban's a great coach. He's the greatest coach ever, the greatest college coach ever. He's on Mount Rushmore of coaches, in college or overall coaches, however you want to look at it. But what he did going off of Maria Taylor like that was just horrible. She asked him, hey, did you get the question answered about your quarterbacks you wanted to get answered? And he went off saying, oh, don't ask me that anymore. Clearly, his personal feelings is there. Because clearly, Nick Saban sees what we see. He sees that Jalen is that Tua Tagovailoa is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. He sees the same thing that we see. We all see it. It's clear as day. It's obvious. The better quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa. And Nick Saban, I understand you respect Jalen. But if you really got love for the kid, sit him down. Red shirt him. God forbid, knock on wood, God forbid Tua gets hurt. If he does get hurt, then put the kid in from Jacksonville, Max Jones. He's a red shirt freshman. He understands what he's there for. He can run the offense too. Let Jalen be. He had 2 years to secure this position, and he didn't do it. And it's not all Jalen's fault. The man can't throw, he can't throw. Maybe in the right system, in a more wide open system. I don't know. Maybe he goes to FAU with Lane Kiffin. Maybe he goes to, I don't know, UCLA with Chip Kelly and that running style he likes to do. Maybe he goes somewhere where for 2 years he can become a better passer, fine-tune himself as a runner, and maybe he gets drafted late. I don't know. But Nick Saban, if you really love this kid, Jalen Hurts, let him go. Sit him down and say, look, I love you, Jalen. You mean so much to this program. But Tua is our guy, period. If you want to go somewhere else, I will gladly see to it that you get there. I will gladly see to it that you get in the right position to flourish. Because Jalen has 2 years left of eligibility. He graduates in December. So he'll be a graduate transfer, just walk in wherever he wants to go in. Just let the kid go. The longer you hold on to Jalen, the more it affects the team. We all see it. Tua is just simply better than Jalen. That is the cutthroat nature of college football. That is the nature of the beast. This game is very beautiful, but it's very grimy. That's the grimy part of it. That's the great and bad thing about recruiting. The bad thing about recruiting is this. You go out there and you find a 5-star quarterback. That's good. You bring in this 5-star quarterback to compete with your other 5-star quarterback. The 5-star quarterback you brought in is better than the 5-star quarterback you have. He's going to play. That's the nature of the beast. That's football. You know, I'm pretty sure there was an upperclassman at Miami saying, why the hell am I not playing? And why is this damn freshman, Antrell Roll in front of me? And why is this freshman Sean Taylor on the field and not me? You know, it happens. Tua is better than Jalen. Let it go. Let Jalen go on with his life. Let it go. Tua is the man. The kid is special. He's special, man. And these receivers, these weapons that Alabama's always had, now all of a sudden you give these 5-star receivers, you give these 5-star running backs, you give these dangerous weapons a quarterback that can get them the ball how they want it, where they want it, when they need it. It's over. Sorry, Jalen Hurts. It's over, man. It happens. It happens, man. So, hey. But anyways, like I said, the biggest threats to Alabama this year is LSU and Mississippi State and Auburn. But LSU being the bigger threat because I feel like they have an offense now to go along with their defense that's always top 5 in the country every year, no matter what's going on. So they have an offense now, and Bama has Auburn and Mississippi State at home this year. So I feel like those are favorable matchups at home. But LSU on the road, and that's my next point about Tua Tagovailoa. I get it. He's not all the way proven yet. And there will be some growing pains. There will be interceptions. Hell, God forbid, knock on wood, he just might lose a damn game. But he's the better option going forward. Hindsight is always 2020. Let's just live with the decision, man. Tua is the guy. And he will have to go to LSU this year. Going to Death Valley at night, that's where Alabama quarterbacks' careers are judged. A.J. McCarron, Blake Sims, Greg McElroy, hell, even Jalen Hurts. They all had to go into that hostile environment in Death Valley at night and win games to cement their legacy. And Tua will have his chance this year. When that game happens, that's when this whole thing comes full circle. And then we'll all see what's going on. Until then, I don't see anyone getting in Tua's way or Bama's way until LSU. And then, everyone after that will be a tough battle as well. But we might as well just sit back and rest easy on the choice that was made. Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Case closed. Well, sports fans, as you all know, John Gruden gave up his Monday Night Football gig to come coach his former team, the Oakland Raiders. Me personally, he shouldn't have quit his night job. I heard it got good benefits, John Gruden, because this guy just made the dumbest move ever. I mean, are you kidding me, John Gruden? Really? You come off the booth. You leave the booth of Monday Night Football. You come to Oakland. You sign a $100 million contract. And your first point of order, your first move you make, the first big move you make, you made it a point to not talk to Khalil Mack. You made it a point to not make him comfortable around you. You made it your personal business to let Khalil Mack know you are not needed here. And so John Gruden decides, I'm going to trade Khalil Mack to the Chicago Bears. Sorry about that, guys.
and sit down. Yeah, I'm finna fix the rest.
Hey, y'all, sorry about that, man. Had some equipment issues, but we all good here. But yeah, that to me was the dumbest move that he could have made. You come to a franchise and you alienate the best player, you undermine the best player on the franchise for foolish pride. You know, and the thing I don't get is that these franchises, they draft players hoping and praying that they become a Khalil Mack or a Von Miller or Aaron Donald. You draft these guys with the hope that they'll become a Pro Bowl player or an All-Pro player. He's done all of that. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time first-team All-Pro. He is a Defensive Player of the Year. This is all within the first 4 years of his career. Has more sacks, QB hurries, QB hits, pressures than any pass rusher in the league. That includes Von Miller. And Jon Gruden, man, it just further proves my point that he's overrated as a coach. It further proves my point that he's overpaid. You give the head coach, the overrated head coach, who's 95 and 81. That's not bad, but to me, a lot of that goes to his days in Tampa Bay, and where he had the easiest job in the world, where all you had to do was figure out a way to get Keyshawn Johnson and Kenny McCardell and Warwick Dunn the ball, while your Hall of Fame defense, led by Warren Sapp, a Hall of Famer, Derek Brooks, a Hall of Famer, John Lynch on the ballot, Simeon Rice should be on the ballot, Rondé Barber should be on the ballot. Like, that defense was one of the top 5 defenses ever. So you had an easy job, and you couldn't even do that job for more than a couple years. So to me, Jon Gruden is very much overrated as a coach. And this move just justifies that, him being overrated and overpaid. So, and then furthermore, it highlights the double standard that is the NFL. If you outperform your contract, we wait to pay you. If you underperform your contract, we quit to take the money from you. Khalil Mack has clearly outperformed his contract. He has clearly done more than what you expected. And now it's time to pay him, and you trade him to a team that's already loaded and young on defense. Eddie Jackson, Roll Tide. Danny Trevathan, Leonard Floyd, another pass rusher on the other side of him. You just made another team better and made yourself worse. Khalil Mack don't grow on trees. Yeah, you got 2 first-round picks. What's the likelihood you're drafting Khalil Mack again? What's the likelihood that you're drafting someone even close to him? Hell, what's the likelihood you're even drafting that high to get a good player, period? Who knows? But you cut Khalil Mack with nothing. Like, you let him go. You traded for 2 first-round picks. You're not going to find Khalil Mack again. And the Bears, they got him, and they immediately made him the highest paid defensive player ever. But the Raiders want to give $100 million to a overrated, great guy with great speeches and great passion. But want to undercut arguably the most complete, best defensive player in the league. This is horrible. But tell me this, Jon Gruden, since you got it all figured out. When Amari Cooper is up for big-time receiver money, now he's got back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He had an off year this year with some drops and injuries, but I see him bouncing back next year. Anybody who's an Alabama fan knows when Amari Cooper is challenged, he comes back even stronger. So he's gonna ball out this year, and he's gonna want big-time receiver money. Are you gonna cut him? Because you sign Amari Cooper, then it says, okay, we don't give a darn about the defense. Because Amari Cooper is a great young talent. He is. But Amari Cooper as a player is not better than Khalil Mack as a player. And you trade Khalil Mack. So when it's time to sign Amari Cooper to big time money, you're going to cut him too and divide your locker room? Or are you going to sign Amari Cooper and expose yourself as a, double standard, offensive bias, airhead that you are? Well, that's John Gruden in a nutshell for you folks. Khalil Mack just made the Chicago Bears that much more dangerous. And he made the Oakland Raiders offense that much more dependable to be depended on. Because the defense was already horrible with Khalil Mack. You take away Khalil Mack, it's over. Nice job, John Gruden. You're about as smart as a bucket of shrimp, dude. Well, anyways, Khalil Mack got traded, but hey, he got his money. That's the Raiders' problem, and the Chicago's big-time good problem now. So, but as you all know, the NFL is kicking off Thursday. The defending champion Eagles, whatever. They play the Falcons on Thursday night. Then Sunday, we got a couple great games. Jaguars and Giants, Cowboys and Panthers, Green Bay and Chicago. Khalil Mack made, get that money worth it right off the bat, so some great games coming up. What I did was, I think it's about a year or two ago on Facebook, people were posting, statuses of, what their all-time NFL team would be. Excuse me. People were making their own, NFL team. I mean, from quarterback, receivers, O-line, D-line, the whole nine. So I never got around to doing one because I felt like, man, that's a hard one to put together, man. But today I sat down and I made me a football team, an all-time NFL great. So if I were a NFL owner or whatever, and I could, if we had an all-time draft of all-time NFL greats in their absolute apex prime, I mean, it doesn't matter, injury history, whatever, and their absolute apex prime, and we have a big draft, these are the guys that I'm picking for every position on my team. This is my team. Feel free to comment with whatever team you would, or comment on my video when I'm done on what your team would be. I'll redo it as a status later on. So, feel free to chime in on that. Well, first of all, I would be the owner, and that take care of that. But of course, I need me a head coach. I need me a guy. My team, to say the least, my all-time NFL team has got some, personality issues on it. Some very edgy guys, some very scary guys, and some very, strong-willed, strong-minded, hard party, hard drinking kind of guys on my team. But this is my team. And I need me a head coach that's going to control all these personalities. That's all he got to do. Keep everybody in line. And the guy for that job is Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells will be my head coach. He coached LT. He coached Keyshawn Johnson. He dealt with T.O. He's dealt with all of it, so he can deal with these personalities on my team. My offensive coordinator, I got the man himself, the inventor of the West Coast offense himself, the great late Bill Walsh. I got some great talent on my offense, man. I need everybody to get the ball. I need it to be distributed all around the world. I need good, solid play calling. And Bill Walsh is the man for that job. My defensive coordinator, I need someone tough. I need someone mean. I need someone smart. I need someone aggressive. Someone who's not afraid to go get it. That guy is Buddy Ryan, the late, great Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan is the guy. Now, that takes care of the coaches. Quarterback. I need me a clutch guy, man. You know, because someone's all-time team just might have my all-time team down by a touchdown, and we need a touchdown. So, the guy who can run Bill Walsh's offense better than anyone living, Joe Montana. Joe Montana. I'm going to do a two-back system. I'm going to have my usual running back, you know, my 25 carry a game guy. That will be Emmitt Smith. No other question, Emmitt Smith. But I need me a change of pace back. I need me someone that can run and catch. Someone that will be a legit receiving option when he's in the game. That guy is Marshall Faulk. So, that take care of the QB and running backs. My receiving core, I only need 3, baby. Give me Randy Moss. Give me Terrell Owens. Give me Jerry Rice. Those are my receivers. Those 3 guys right there. Now, my offensive line. Yeah, we ain't giving no sacks, man. And Emmett go average like 8 yards a carry, maybe even 10. Right tackle, I got Big E, Eric Williams, my man. Right guard, Larry Allen, my man. Center, Mike Webster. To me personally, he's the greatest center of all time. He was, you know, a real foundation of those Pittsburgh dynasties. You know, the heart and soul of that offensive line, man. And I'm gonna need me a strong center to control these big personalities on my offensive line. So I got Mike Webster. Left guard, I got the man himself, Will Shields, one of my all-time heroes. And at left tackle, I got Orlando Pace. At tight end, I got old Uncle Shay, man. Uncle Shay Sharp, man. Shannon Sharp at tight end. Shannon Sharp will be my X factor. Him and Marshall Faulk are my 2 guys that when I need it, they're going to get it for me. So I got Shannon Sharp at tight end, and he will also be a part of my very explosive receiving core. My defense, I will be running a 3-4. Buddy Ryan loves to blitz, so I'm going to give Buddy Ryan the pick of the litter, baby. I'm going to give him a legit 3-4, and he's going to unleash hell on everybody, man. Good luck blocking these guys. At DN, I got Reggie White. At my other defensive end, I got Mr. Cowboy himself, Charles Haley. At nose guard, I got Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp was just the best interior guy ever, man. He's gonna command double teams, which means that, you know, you got double team Charles Haley and Reggie White, which means that my 4 linebackers are free to run around the country and get your quarterback. At my 2 outside linebackers, no, better yet, my 2 middle linebackers. As you know, in a 3-4 scheme, you need 2 inside backers, 2 outside backers. My 2 inside backers are 2 guys that know this Ryan defense like the back of their hand. Ray Lewis, Mike Singletary. 1985 Bears, heart and soul was Mike Singletary. 2000 Ravens under Rex Ryan, Buddy Ryan's son, heart and soul of that defense, Ray Lewis. So I got 2 guys that know this defense and can run it. On the outside, I got Derek Thomas and I got LT. Done, man. Sacks all over the place. Now, my secondary. Now, I got a good, aggressive front 7 that's going to blitz you like crazy and make you throw the ball early. But be careful where you're throwing the ball in my secondary. At one corner, I got the Heisman winner himself, Charles Woodson. Next to primetime, man, I got it's Charles Woodson, man. I mean, most of y'all would say Darryl Green. All my old heads would say Mel Blount. You know, me personally, it's Deion, it's Charles Woodson. He could do everything Deion could do, man. He could return, shut you down. And as he got older, Charles got older and moved to safety and was still an all-pro. The guy's just unbelievable first ballot Hall of Famer. So I got prime time, I got Woody on my outside. And God bless whoever goes across the middle, because at strong safety, I got Jack Tatum. I got the big bad man himself, Jack Tatum. I mean, hey, I got me an aggressive front seven that's going to blitz you. You're not throwing the ball to Dion. You're not throwing the ball to Charles Woodson. You look quick underneath routes. You look quick, slant routes. Jack Tatum. So you're not going to throw the ball to Charles or Dion. Jack Tatum is lighting up everyone. So you got to go deep, right? That's your only hope. That's your only hope. My front seven is going to get there in a hurry. So the ball is coming out quick, but you don't want to risk someone's life by sending it in dead man's valley with, Jack Tatum. So the ball is going above everyone, and guess who's waiting for you? The ball hawk himself at free safety. I got Ed Reed. So you're not going to block my front seven. And if by some miracle you doing the ball comes out, you're not going across the middle. You're not going to prime time or Charles Allen. So you're going to throw it deep to Ed Reed. He going to pick it off. We're going to score. We're going to win. And of course, I need special teams. Why not? I got me a kicker, Mr. Clutch himself, Adam Vinatieri, baby. At punter, I got the man himself, Ray Guy. And my punt returner, kick returner, special guy, Devin Hester. That's my team, baby. Right there. In a nutshell. Like I said, man, football season is back. Football season is among us. It's upon us, man. It's the best time of the year. Like I said, man, I'll repost my all-time NFL team later, so feel free to give feedback on that. So like I said, man, it's the best time of the year. Hope everyone has a great week, man. Whoever your team is, root for your team, man. We don't need no bandwagons going on, so whoever your team is, go ahead and claim your team. If you're a Miami Hurricane fan, keep your head up, man. But hey, don't be bandwagon, y'all. So go ahead and state your claim right now, whoever your team is, man. So FSU and Virginia Tech tonight, 8 o'clock on ABC, man. See y'all. Peace.